This is how I make my dog treats. I have just three ingredients. I have peanut butter, quick oats, and I had 2 bananas. I've already chopped them up. But I have a 4-cup processor. You could use a blender if you want. But I pour the oats in first, and then I chop them up really fine and add them to the bowl. And then I did the same thing with the banana, and I've added that to the bowl. And then do about 2/3 cup of peanut butter, and then add that to the bowl. So it's 2 cups oats, 2 bananas, and 2/3 of a cup of peanut butter. And then just blend that until it's incorporated. And once you have it mixed, it'll look like this. It's really kind of sticky. You want to get it to more of a dough ball. So I add 2 tablespoons of flour and mix that up. And after you mix it up with flour, it becomes into a dough ball. What I like to do is lay some flour on a piece of parchment paper. You can see this is a used piece. I used this on the last batch of treats, and I like to reuse my parchment paper because it saves money, and it's really not a problem. But I get my hands all floured up so I can handle the dough ball, and then I'll put it on the parchment paper. When I lay it on the parchment paper, I like to form it up into a small rectangle because I'm going to roll it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sheet of plastic wrap. I'm going to put it over top of this, and then use my my French rolling pin and roll this out to about the size of the parchment paper. It's about 16 by 14, and I'll turn back on after that. Here's the saran wrap on top. The reason I use saran wrap is because I hate to clean the rolling pin, so I'll put saran wrap, roll it out, and then I can just put the rolling pin back in the cabinet because it won't get all dirty. And here's my dough all rolled out. And after I roll it, I like to take the saran wrap off. Now, this is very sticky, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit of flour on it and take the stickiness off the top of the dough, because I want to cut it with the pizza cutter, and I'm going to cut them the size of about a Cheez-It. You can make the size whatever you want, but we like them about maybe a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And this is the flour. I just use the flat of my hand and just spread it so it doesn't stick anymore. Get all the stickiness out. And this is what it looks like after I cut it. This is another trick I do, and this is why I use parchment paper. So I take my cookie sheet and I slide it underneath there and slide it right onto the sheet. And I'm going to throw that in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. This is what it looks like after baking it. You can see it turned a little darker brown on the thinner spots. That's okay. The dogs love it either way. And I keep it on the parchment paper. I just slide it off onto my granite countertop, and I let that cool. And then after it cools off, you can easily break them into little squares. Put them in a Ziploc bag, and I like to just throw them in the freezer so they don't spoil. And that's how I make them.